Good morning, everyone. Pete Pardo here. Welcome to another edition of What's Hot with Sea Tranquility, the show on the channel where we review some of the cool new releases in progressive rock, jazz, fusion, all forms of heavy metal, hard rock, classic rock. We cover all sorts of stuff here on the channel. This is the show for you to get the reviews on the new music, all right? For those of you who still do listen to new music by newer bands or new music from classic bands, we cover both. So here we've got a very cool live album from MoonJune Records. Leonardo Pavkovic and company, always putting out some really, really great stuff. This is no exception. This is the live album from Stickmen. It is called, I want to make sure I say this correctly, Owari. Owari, translated in English, it's a Japanese word, means the end. Okay. Interesting little history about this particular live album. So, late 2019, Leonardo books a tour of the Far East for the Stickmen. Okay, so the Stickmen, of course, is Tony Levin on Chapman stick, occasional vocals, Pat Mastelotto, acoustic and electronic drums and percussion. Of course, both members also members of King Crimson, along with Marcus Reuter on touch guitars and soundscapes. And then for this little tour, they were going to have as a guest join them renowned British keyboard player and drummer Gary Husband. Okay, so this would be the first time this four-piece, this configuration would actually play together. All right, so they all get over there. They got dates booked in China. They got a handful of nights booked in Japan. Of course, this is mid-late February of 2020. You can probably all guess what happened, right? Because we all know, everybody on this planet knows what happened in late 2019, moving into early 2020, specifically in February, right? COVID-19 was hitting everywhere, and basically countries and major cities were shutting down operations left and right. So here we had the bulk of this tour that was set up for Stickmen, with the exception of one night, the first night in Osaka. Okay, I believe it was February. Let me get the date right here. February 28th, 2020, at the Blue Note, Nagoya, in Japan. Okay, did I say Osaka? Did not mean to say that, sorry. Nagoya, the Blue Note in Nagoya, Japan. And here we have the full show. All right, of course, right after the show, two of the guys hopped on a plane and headed back, okay, to the States. Staying behind for a couple of days was Leonardo, Marcus Reuter, and Gary Husband, and they basically created the Music of Our Times album right on the spot, okay, recorded an album full of soundscapes and what have you, which we reviewed here on the channel back a few months ago, and go check that out if you haven't. Very cool album. So here, though, we have the performance at the Blue Note in Nagoya on February 28th. And it's a great one. So let's take a look at the packaging here. So I've got a cool little hard booked style thing. Very cool cover. I like that cover. All right. And as you open up, it's basically got the booklet inside, which is pretty neat. Filled with photographs. Obviously, the band getting ready for the show, enjoying their time together, having some delectable looking food and drink. All right, obviously that nice little tour that was planned did not wind up happening, obviously, other than this show. But it's a great one. And you got additional photographs and things there. Anyway, the guys look like they're having a grand time together. CD is slotted in there. What do you get here? You get one full disc, all right? Starting off with the very kind of ominous, creepy, soundscapian track, Hajime, which I guess means peace. All right, very cool. I love the kind of distorted guitar tones from Marcus Reuter on this one. Sounds very Crimson-ish. All right, from there you got a couple more upbeat, kind of quirky, rhythmically pleasing songs, Hide the Trees and Cusp. It's really cool to hear Gary Husband's kind of like atmospheric keyboard sounds throughout a lot of this. Adds a really nice dimension, I think. You've got a fantastic version of the Crimson classic Lark's Tongues and Aspic Part 2. All right. You've got the next tune is Schattenhaft. All right. And then after that, you got Crack in the Sky, another cool kind of atmospheric track with lots of soundscapes. Again, this is very, if you love kind of the more modern King Crimson music, Stickmen bring a similar thing to the table. You got Tony Levin's Chapman stick guitar, Marcus Reuter doing all sorts of stuff on his touch guitar, from heavier riffs to weird soundscapes. You got Mastelotto doing all sorts of stuff, and like I said, you got Gary Husband here, which adds a really nice layer to the stuff. You got the title track Owari next. Then you got a song called Prog Noir. All right, here you got Tony doing a little vocals. Sounds very much like a prog-ish, prog rock type of song. Then you got perhaps the two finest moments in a CD full of them. Next, Swimming in Tea, which is 9 minutes long. Really aggressive. If you like the more savage King Crimson stuff of recent memory, you'll love that. And speaking of King Crimson, Level 5 is up next. Off the charts great. And then finishing it all off as a bonus track, the 16-minute long, it's like a long kind of soundscape type of thing, is The End of the Tour. That's what it's called. And that's pretty kind of creepy and ominous sounding as well, with all sorts of neat little sounds. A lot of stuff from Gary Husband on that. A lot of interesting textures on the touch guitar and the Chapman stick on that. So really, really cool. Mixed and mastered by Stefano Castagna at Ritmo and Blue Studios. Produced by Marcus Reuter for Stickmen. Hajo Mueller did the cover artwork on here. Very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. If you already dig the Stickman repertoire, you're going to have this. Really good. It's just crazy how, these guys were over there right as COVID was starting to hit. But the fact that they at least got one show in, I think, is pretty remarkable. And here we have the document of it. So check it out if you get a chance. All right. Owari from Stickmen featuring Gary Husband. Okay. So Stickmen +1. Will we see more from this 4-piece? I hope so, because this really works out well. So stay tuned, I guess. More on that. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time. We got more stuff coming up. We got a new review of the new Sonus Umbra today as well. And then the final episode of Dream, for now, I should say. Final episode for now. We're probably going to revisit Dream Setlist somewhere down the road, but we're going to take a little break from it for a bit. But the final episode for here this month of March for Dream Setlist, it's going to be a three-pack of festival proportion, I should say. So that's coming up later today. Stay tuned for that. And a lot more here on the channel for the rest of the week. So stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the Ko-Fi link if you want to make a donation. Check out our merch page. All the links are below, so check all that stuff out. And thank you for watching, and we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.